after a 47-year blacklist, the United States officially removed Syria from its list of state sponsors of terrorism, ending decades of intense diplomatic sanctions. Middle Eastern borders are shifting right now. For decades, the United States labeling Syria a state sponsor of terrorism created a massive, impenetrable barrier to any regional diplomatic progress. This label functioned as a financial and legal blockade, cutting Syria off from the global economy. Major corporations and international banks refused to engage with Syrian markets. When Bashar al-Assad fell in December 2024, Washington's foreign policy calculations shifted. The previous era of total isolation ended, replaced by a new, unpredictable reality for the United States diplomats. By late August 2026, the United States is signaling a major policy change. Lifting these sanctions moves beyond simple diplomacy. It opens the door for massive amounts of new capital to enter the market. The tension is inherent in this transition. Moving from a pariah state to a recognized regional energy partner changes everything. This shift impacts global oil prices and the actual stability of the Levant region, reshaping long-standing geopolitical dynamics. On August 25, 2006, the United States Treasury and State Departments officially ended Syria's status as a state sponsor of terrorism. Trump's team started normalizing ties early. They had already removed the foreign terrorist organization label from Hachis, previously, effectively easing diplomatic tensions. New partnerships are already driving economic growth. President Trump pointed to the $7 billion United States Türkiye-Qatar energy deal in Damascus as proof that this regional cooperation is actually working. This massive energy project is central to the new administration strategy. Removing terror designations directly enables these large-scale infrastructure investments, providing the necessary legal framework for development. Politics are shifting, but security remains unstable. In January 2006, United Nations Assistant Secretary General Khaled Kiari reported rising tensions and deep-seated disputes within the Sueda Governorate, highlighting a period of growing regional volatility. Reports from June 2026 show that government forces and various ethnic or religious minority groups clashed violently during this unstable transition period. Removing this designation is a huge step. Analysts say this move clears a final major hurdle for Syria to rejoin the global financial system, potentially restoring vital economic connections. Removing this designation fundamentally changes the region's legal framework and diplomatic standing. This strategic move shows the United States no longer views the current Syrian government through the lens of 1979-era policies. This change hits the economy hard. Dropping the terrorism label makes international lenders see much less risk in the United States. This enables engagement that law once prohibited. Now, the priority has moved from containment to managing a more integrated Syrian economy, focusing on long-term stability through trade. World Health Organization wins. According to regional economic analysts, the Syrian government and international energy consortiums win the most. The removal of the designation allows for the expansion of projects like the $7 billion energy deal. World Health Organization loses. Security experts say the influence of non-state actors and extremist factions loses ground. The formal delisting of Hachis removes the legal barriers that previously prevented legitimate trade with territories they once controlled. What's next? Analysts see two primary paths for the region. One path involves a rapid influx of foreign direct investment that stabilizes the Syrian economy and integrates it into the global banking network. Another possibility is a spike in local ethnic fighting, which would likely force the United States to rethink how much diplomatic support the interim government gets. The State Department says, lifting these sanctions helps multilateral development banks join reconstruction efforts more easily, facilitating much-needed financial support for rebuilding critical infrastructure. The Treasury Department says this decision follows the collapse of the previous regime's government and the resulting change in political power. Critics worry local actors might misappropriate sudden international credit flows while the transition period is still underway, potentially destabilizing the fragile economic landscape. Removing these legal barriers helps crews repair essential water, electricity, and telecommunications networks more quickly, streamlining the critical restoration of vital public infrastructure. The United States government claims this promotes stability, But analysts worry that sudden capital flight could trigger market volatility and unpredictable economic shifts. This helps companies manage complex infrastructure projects and large-scale reconstruction efforts with much less administrative friction and less bureaucratic red tape. This strategy assumes that linking economies together helps prevent future wars from breaking out. Still, this move is causing real political friction in Washington. Several members of Congress doubt why this regulatory relief is happening right now. Lawmakers are questioning if the new administration actually intends to follow through on peace promises. People are debating if money alone keeps nations following international law over the long term. Some analysts expect this policy shift to trigger a period of heady competition for regional influence. The State Department says their main goal is preventing any new waves of extremist violence. International policy experts still disagree on whether this new oversight actually works in practice. Ending this 47-year-old designation shifts the Middle East's entire political structure. Is the United States making a mistake by prioritizing trade over the risks of a shaky transition? Tell me what you think below. Subscribe and turn on notifications to follow our next report on how shifting global energy markets will impact prices and supply chains.